do want to acknowledge, too, that the Novak family is here with us tonight, and we certainly appreciate all of them coming. It's been a difficult day, difficult week, and it's great to see you out there, and you're an inspiration to all of us. So, next is communications from board members. Dave Tomlinson has called in, and Dave, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I do, Sue. Thank you very much. And I too want to extend welcome to Donna and Liz and Bill. And I just want to know, I met Greg, and by the way, Sue, before I go any further, you're not being televised, so I'm not sure if that's working or not. But
okay, thank you.
I met Greg first in 2005 when I decided to run for the board. Greg was one of the first phone calls I made as the president of CFT. And I met with him prior to almost anyone else in the community to talk about what's important in the school system. And, you know, we formed a partnership at that time that lasted, until last week. And when Greg first ran in 2007, I supported him then, and I supported his re-election. I've met many public officials over my years of working with the government and on the school board, and I can, without hesitation, say that I have never met anyone that is more dedicated to our community and more dedicated to a school system than Greg Novak. And that is a statement that I will stand behind forever, because Greg was a dedicated person. His legacy is some great things have gone in our schools. Many changes have happened in the last 6 years because of Greg, and they will continue. And I look forward to continuing the things that Greg started in many ways, and he's going to be sorely missed. We often had good talks, and I'm going to miss those as well. And Donna, we wish you the best, and if there's anything we can do, please let us know.
Thanks, Dave. Steve.
We've all had teachers and mentors in our lives that have made a lasting impact on us. I think about, for myself, names like Mr. Levy, Mr. Roderick, Mr. Brown, Miss Anderson, just to name a few of my teachers. And I think about, what do they have in common? They were all incredibly bright people. They knew the subject matter. They taught me when I was in middle school and high school. But more importantly, they pushed me. They weren't always nice to me. They knew I could do better, so they called me out and pushed. And I became better, and so did the other students in those classes. For me, Greg joins that list of just great teachers and mentors who've made a significant and positive impact on me. He had forgotten more about the district than I think I've learned since my time on the board. There was no subject that we covered in which he did not only have the facts, the historic context and insights to provide. We didn't always agree. He pushed me, and I pushed him at times. But I learned so much. He made me better. He made this board better. He made the district better. I first met Greg at the original Pancake House about 5 years ago. I think a few of us have had some meetings there. I met the satellite office, right. We met with, I met with Christine, Elizabeth Parishon, to discuss my potential involvement in the Great Schools Together plan. Or in the strategic plan that became the Great Schools Together plan. And as you know, it lives on today, and it was one of the reasons I chose to run for the board, to help ensure the district would honor its commitment to that plan. And we have. And Greg helped to ensure that we did. Like we said, all of us have had other meetings with Greg over the years at the original Pancake House, Sammy's, other places, sometimes for lunch. And something he always did really stuck with me. He would always have $2 bills in his wallet to give us tips to the servers. You're laughing because you've seen those too. He told me that he left those $2 bills to illustrate a little extra appreciation for the person who provided the service to him. It was a little thing, but it wasn't such a little thing. It was another way to show he cared about everybody. So I went to the bank today, and I got a $2 bill. So in Greg's honor, I'm going to carry this $2 bill, give it to somebody who does something to help others, just as Greg would. Because whether he was giving his 2 cents or the $2, Greg was doing what he believed was best for everyone. And that is what I think each of us would want to be remembered for.
Thanks, Steve. Tommy.
When you serve as a public official, as a member of a board of education, you get asked all kinds of different questions, from curriculum issues, to personnel, to facilities, to taxes, one of the questions that I got on multiple occasions was, so what's it like to work with Novak? And I got to say, the first time that I met Greg, I kind of asked myself the same question. But I realized pretty quickly that he and I were very much on the same page on a number of issues, and most importantly, in our approach to the district and to helping this community. And I was really drawn to that with Greg. You know, Greg, as has been, mentioned by others, was just a true historian in every sense of the word. His ability to spout off the most minute details on the way something happened in the 80s when, such and such was the principal at this building, and how this is why this worked or this is why it didn't work, was truly valuable and saved the board and the district from some difficulty on a number of occasions. He had just an uncanny ability to pinpoint those kinds of things, and based on his knowledge and his experience, really make this district, what it has become, and put it on the trajectory that it's currently on. I think this was alluded to earlier too, but Greg was just the quintessential example of what you would want as a constituent, what you would want in your elected representative. I mean, he was not afraid to take a stand on any issue, regardless of how popular or unpopular that stand might have been. He was just a tireless worker, an advocate for the district, and was very skilled at being able to structure arguments and make decisions in a way that struck the difficult balance of benefiting the district, the students, the staff, the taxpayers, the community. He had those perspectives, and he got us to truly see and appreciate those different perspectives. He was certainly a man of strong convictions, and depending on exactly what the issue was, varying degrees of stubbornness as well. There was rarely a time when, I had some question about the district that he didn't know the answer either off the top of his head, or within 2 hours I had an email after he'd gone through his big box of stuff at home. My thoughts and prayers really go out to the family, to Donna. You, willingly or not, gave Greg to this community, and this community is so much better for it. To Liz and to Bill, you and your kids gave Greg so much joy and so much excitement and so much laughter. And Maggie and Sophie and Robbie and Abby, your papa loved you, man. He loved you. And if you had more than a 5-minute conversation with Greg, you knew how deeply he cared for his grandkids. So, answering the question, what's it like to work with Greg Novak, is not an easy thing to answer, but what I know is that because of my relationship with Greg, I'm a more conscientious board member, certainly, but I truly believe that I've become a better person for having known Greg. It's not often that as a man in your 20s, you develop a close personal relationship with someone who's retired. But thankfully for me, that really happened with Greg. I will very much miss, I have Original Pancake House in my notes too, will very much miss our early morning breakfast there. And half cheddar omelet, sourdough toast, extra butter, no jam, every time, without fail.
Tall glass of water.
Tall glass of water.
Yeah.
And he, sometimes we'd solve those problems, sometimes we wouldn't, sometimes we'd be on the same page, sometimes we would agree to disagree, but, ultimately, he always had the interests of the kids in mind, and he always found a way for those to coincide with what the district needed. And I'm so proud of what this board has been able to accomplish with Greg as a member, and I know that Greg was too. And I know I'm not alone in saying that, you know, Greg's presence truly will be missed by everyone at this table, and the influence and the passion that he brought to work, to his work with this district, will sorely be missed by this entire community.